No, this van is not mine. I am super grateful that my grandparents are letting me borrow it for 2 months while I do seasonal work and work on my jewelry business. Since I'll be stationed in one spot, it's better than being in my SUV because I have a kitchen and a bathroom. So I thought before I make it homey, why not do a van tour? The sun is sunning and I think we should start on the outside first. We're gonna start in the very front because why not? To be honest, I don't know if every van has this. It would make sense if every van has this, but I love this feature. So when you're doing the windows, you have a stool. Obviously you have your driver door, and right here you have an outdoor shower, which is insane. You got hot water, cold water, and this is in the back, but it's a hose. Love this. Great feature. And in this compartment you have your black tank and gray tank. The instructions how to do it always read, and you're always gonna want to wear gloves. And then down here you have a retractable pipe that you dump your tank. This right here is your most important thing, because if you can hook up somewhere, this is where you're gonna get your power. But you also have solar panels on the top if you can't plug in. A rear view camera. We will open up the back later. In the back of the van on the outside you have 2 outlets. And then down here you have your propane tank. And now we're at the entrance of the van, so let's go in. I love that it has a retractable step. Before I take you inside, I do want to show you the awning that's on this side of the van, but you turn it on with this dashboard that's right here. This is such a big awning. It also has LED lights on the outside. I'm gonna try to turn the LED lights on to see if you can even see them during the daylight. And here's with the LED lights on. And then you also have your patio light right there. And if it's a nice day outside and you want your door open but there's a lot of flies, there are screens that you can close. You have 2 separate ones. One last thing before I take you inside, I find it odd that the fresh water tank is right here. And I personally find it weird that whoever designed it thought it makes sense to go right there and not on the outside by all the other tank stuff. Because if you're filling up, then you have to run the hose on this side. I don't know. To me, I find it odd. Anyways, now let's go inside. So right when you step in, you have a fire extinguisher, and you also have an outlet, and then you also have your controls, and this is one of the 2 control systems. I don't know how well you can see this panel, but this has all your controls on it, from your lights, from your window shades, turning on your water pump, your battery switch. It also has the percentage of how much water is in your fresh water tank, your waste tank, your gray tank, your propane tank. So this is where all the magic basically happens. Also, to turn on your generator, you have the button right here. Climate, turning on your fan. Here is the front. Obviously, you have 2 seats up here, your driver's seat, your passenger seat. I honestly love driving this thing. You are so high up. The window in the front is massive, and you just can see everything that's happening. It was a little weird to get used to at first because I'm not used to driving diesel. Speaking of that, I never showed where you fill up, which I also thought this was an odd location, but it makes sense. But it's just on the inside of the driver's side door. I'm not going to go over every single button with you because there's just so many. I do want to say there's been some issues with the Mercedes side that we need to take it in for, because when I did the road trip with my grandparents from Arizona to Florida, the cruise control just randomly shuts off, and then you're driving 100, 120. It's different each time, but it randomly shuts off. You're going back to old school driving where you don't have cruise control. And then the other control that just randomly will click off whenever it wants to is the air conditioning and heat circulation. So you constantly just have to click it on. So up here you have your mirror controls and windows, and then down here you have all the different ways you can adjust your seat, and then you have all your headlight buttons and this beautiful steering wheel. You have such a nice big window You have a lot of buttons over here. This side controls this monitor, and then this side controls your dashboard monitor. The camera makes it so easy to back out because you have the above view. That does not make sense to me. How can it be like that? I have no idea. And then you have that camera as well. That's reverse, and now to drive forward, it has the front camera as well until you get going. How nice is that? And then there's a cone right here. Let's see if it makes the sensor go off. Oh, I'm not close enough. And now there's a cone right there, so it lights up orange, and that means you're getting close. If it's red, it will start beeping at you. And it has these all around the car, which I absolutely love. Again, there's just a lot of buttons. There's 4 cup holders, different sizes. This button so you can also open a sliding door. You have this giant cubby space. Not only do you have the 4 cup holders here, but you have a cup holder there and a cup holder there, along with this compartment. This is another weird feature because you have your charging ports right here. And it is a little funky that this is right here because while you're driving, you have to keep that up. Or if you want it to be charged down here, there's also these ports as well, but I found it easier to have your stuff charging up from this one. And then there's another hubby like this one on this side. This is what it looks like when you're looking at your passenger seat. You have the same controls as the driver's seat does. And when you look up at the top, you also have a compartment up here. Right now there's just tissues, and then you have a sun visor with a mirror, and it goes to the side like so. And then you have a separate radio from this radio. This is the Airstream radio, and there's actually speakers in the back. And then obviously you have all your buttons from reading lights, and then same compartment on this side. This one just has an umbrella, and you also have the little mirror and sun visor. And from the passenger side, looking at the driver's side, this is what it looks like. Behind the driver's seat, you have your fire alarm, and then my grandma put 2 hooks right there for jackets. These are the curtains for this front window and then the front side windows. So that's what's in that black bag. And then right here is a table where, let's set it up. The lighting's gonna be a little bit weird, but to be completely honest, I do not know how to set up this table. I just know, like, I just switched this seat. Sorry for the lighting. I switched this seat because you can swivel it, and you can also swivel this seat as well. And I don't know how this goes on. If you see another shot, my dad or my grandparents showed me how it hooks on. If not, you're gonna have to stay tuned while I'm living in here and I get it all set up. That will have to get figured out. And right behind the driver's seat, we have a wet bath. There's a lot of memories. He decided to flush it, and it squirted out. It squirted out. That have happened with this wet bath. This is luxury. You know what? When I was doing this road trip with my grandparents, on my TikTok, people are like, wow, you really went from Motel 6 to a Marriott. Because my SUV is like a Motel 6, and then, yeah. Anyways, let's go inside. So when you first go in, there's a sensor. It should pop, there it is. So this light and this light always turn on because they're sensors, but you have more lights up here if you click on the bath lights. But you also have a vent and a fan, along with a throne. Wow, insane. You have a sink, which this comes out, and you can put it up there for your lovely shower. It also has a mirror in here. You have laundry. There's a hook. You can hang your wet bathing suits, or if you have clothes that you need to dry, up there, which is super nice. And then you also have a shower curtain. You also have a rack where you can put a towel on the inside of the door. To give you a height reference, I am 5'2". This is what I look like in the shower. It's honestly a perfect height for me, but if you were taller, I'm gonna also talk about a poor design decision. As you can see, there is a sink in here, but whoever designed this why did you put a sink in here? There is a sink right in the kitchen. Literally, I step out, I'm at the sink. I'm at the sink. You had an opportunity to give a good shower space. But now, if this was not here, you would be able to churn so much easier while you're showering. But since it's there, why? Just why? And the other downside to this shower, it drains so slow. Brought this into Airstream. This van doesn't have a P pipeline for the shower, so it drains a lot slower. But before we took it in, it drained even slower. So it drains a little faster, but it's still so slow. You have the toilet paper right here, and you can just close it up, and that way it doesn't get wet. Now let's go over the lovely kitchen space. My grandma doesn't know where she placed it, but there was a perfect slab that went into this so you could have more counter space, but she doesn't know where it is. And this is exactly why I said the bathroom does not need a sink, because the sink is right here. And then underneath the sink, you have this top drawer that pulls out. This cabinet space, which is a good size. Right now there is a bin of stuff in there, along with just like a miscellaneous drawer right now, but a lot of space. This sink is honestly such a good size, and with the faucet it comes down like so. And then over here you have a 2-burner stove. You just need to make sure the propane is on, obviously, and you just ignite it right there without trying to burn everything down. I'm struggling. That was dangerous. There is also more counter space right here, which is super nice. And behind the sink and stove, you have a fridge, which is so awesome. I'm not used to having anything cold unless it was cold that night. So this is going to be extremely nice. This is such a great size, and it comes with the compartments on the door. You have 2 pull-out drawers, shelving, and you can adjust this shelf if you would like. And then you also have a very, very teeny freezer. Another kitchen thing you have is a microwave. It's a teeny microwave, but it's great. And then below the fridge, you have another drawer. There's obviously random things in it right now, but super nice. Below this drawer, you have your carbon monoxide alarm. And let's just say we 100% know that that works. The rolling. And then to the left of the fridge, you have another large cabinet. It also has a light inside. Super nice. You can adjust the shelves. And if you even want to take the shelves out and hang stuff on this little rack, you can do that. And these shelves go really far back, so you got a lot of storage. And to continue with storage, we also have these up above as well, except for this one, it's your second control unit plus all your other stuff. Here is that screen again where you can see all of your controls, your lights, everything. This is part of your heater and your hot water pump, all of that. To be honest, not 100% sure what that is. Not really sure what that is. And then this is for your battery. That is this first cabinet right there. And then next to it, you just have such a large space. It's deep. And then even in the back, you have these sliding glass doors with more spot to put things as well. Now panning over to this storage, it's the same as that other side. And then you have your ceiling lights along with lights down here, another outlet, and then on this side, same thing, lights. Now when you first walk back, you see the seat, and there are 2 seat belts, so 2 people can be sitting, and this all folds down, which I will show in a minute. But if you turn this way, you have a full-on TV and another little cubby space. There is just so much storage, and this TV can pop out and you can swivel it whatever way you would like it to face. Will say I love all of these windows. They are just massive and bring in so much lighting. Another thing with the back seats, you have the 2 USB ports along with cup holders, and then you also have another outlet right there. And on this side as well, you have the 2 USB cup holders. You don't have an outlet right there. Now, when I'm in here, this bed is always going to be into a bed, so I don't have to move it every single time. See, I just realized something. The table gets placed right there. I thought you could put the table in the front. That little metal piece looks more promising than the front. Another thing with the front seats, you can turn them together and it makes a little bed. So you could have like 3 people sleeping in here. Now to make it into a bed, you're gonna hit the lounge button and it slowly folds down. Now for me personally, I'm going to keep it like this. I'm gonna have a mattress and the bed will always just be made because I fit perfectly this way. Here's the other thing. If you want it bigger, you can make it even bigger. There's 2 ottoman buttons because those out. So now you're making a mega bed. Those get pressed down to be flat. That already fell down. So now you just have a giant bed. Now you have such a giant bed, and for me, I don't need all of this space. I would rather have other space to walk and move around. I don't know who needs this much space. Another cool thing is if I have these back doors open, there's a screen that comes down on this side as well. Here you can see the rear screen, and now it's closing. Another thing about this back window is you can open these up, which is super nice, and you can do both of them. If I want certain shades down, I can choose which shade I want, but if I need them all down, all I do is all shades down, on. And now they are all. You have your overhead accent lights, aisle lights, your galley lights, and then this one you can press on like that. This switch is for this light, and this is the same as the other side, and this is what the back looks like. They open up nice and big. Because the bed is down and I'm gonna leave it down, there's also this flap that covers everything. It looks a little bit bigger because the seats are down. Here is the underneath storage. There's some stuff that I am going to be taking out. Here is the outdoor shower attachment. This is a filter and an extra hose to get fresh water. And in here is just extra cables and whatnot. And then what plugs into there is in their garage currently. And then there's these 2 little bins as well. There is a first aid kit that Airstream gave my grandparents when they bought this. That is not a first aid kit. There is nothing in there. And my grandpa fell, and thankfully my grandma had bandages and stuff because there's not even band-aids in there. It's just gauze. Like Airstream, come on. You should have a better first aid kit when someone buys something this nice. Anyways, this is the back. You can also open it from the inside by this latch. I just love these windows. It feels like you're on a train because they're just so big. I feel so teeny next to it. It's amazing. Hopefully I captured everything. There is a few things I didn't touch base on that are kind of annoying, but you know, there's nothing is ever going to be perfect. But for the most part, my SUV to this temporarily, I can't complain about anything. You know, I have a full kitchen. I have a bathroom. Like I really can't. I can stand up. Excited to see where February and March takes me since I'm going to be stationed in one spot. It's going to be different. And usually when I end these videos, I say I have no idea what I'm doing this next week, but I am getting on a plane.